Hello everyone, my name is Mariana Celia. So today I will explain summary unit 8 is talk about uh, 8.1 is translation problem. Translation problem arises from the inherent difference between a language extending beyond a grammar and pronunciation to vocabulary and its organization. We're learning a foreign language. It is initially assumed that each word in the native tongue has a corresponding word in the target language. However, as the language proficiency increases, this assumption crumbles. The semantic equivalence of word is often the exception rather than the rule. Next is talk about type of mismatch. Multiple word for a single concept. In English, mouse, red, finger, two, water. In Japanese, Nezumi, Yubi, Mizu, you. And next, complicated lexical field. In English, words, count, noun, and mass noun. And in Japanese, mori is forest, and ka 1 is tree, ka 2 wood. And in Germany, Wald is wood, Holt is wood, Baum is tree. Challenging in translation, polysemy. In English, words often have multiple meanings. Japanese words can have different meanings depending on context, and then different in basic concept, eat and drink. In German, essen to eat, trinken is to drink, and in English, eat and drink. But in Japanese, tabaru is to eat, nomu is to drink. So, essential meaning difference for addressing people. In German is sie is formal, and then versus do is informal. But in Japanese, complex system of the honorific and relational terms, and then culture difference. Yeah, for example, is work. In English, work is broad range of activity, and Japanese is hataruku. Hataru is work, and asobu is play or leisure. And then next 8.2 Headers International. The way language express a headed situation involves the difference in grammar and semantic. This is illustrated by comparing how English, German, French, Russia, Hungary, and Japanese express the concept of the having a headed. Grammar and semantic. Number 1, English use a possessive contraction with the verb is have to associate the headed with the experimenter. Number 2 is German has a possessive contraction with the verb is haben and a variant that directly expresses the sensation. And then number 3 is French use a possessive contraction with the verb is avoid and a locative phrase. And then number 5 is Russia directly express the sensation with the verb is bullied and specifies the acting part. And then number 5 is Hungarian use a one place predicate with the verb fetch, adjust, and specifies an acting part with a possessive suffix. And then number 6 is Japanese use a verbal adjective fa or itai feels acting with the subject specifying the acting part. The experience is implied as the speaker. And then let's talk about 8.3 relativism and universalism. The debate between relativism and universalism in linguistics revolves around the question of how different languages are Universalists believe that all languages follow the same principle and that the structure of every language is a variant of universal grammar, which is part of the human genetic equipment. This leads to the idea that the language can only differ within a limited range of variation. On the other hand, relativists believe that each language is radically different and represents a unique way of thinking about the world. This perspective is often associated with the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, which is that the way we think about the world is influenced by language we speak. 8.5 Consequent, the finding on the color term have significant implications for the structuralist view of a language and the debate between revitalism and universalism. Structuralist view number 1, arbitrariness of lexicalization. The study showed that the arbitrariness of lexicalization can be consequent as the language tends to follow certain pattern in the categorizing colors. Number 2 is interdependence of term. The denotation of terms within the same field are interdependent and divide each other, meaning that the range of a color term within a given focus depends on how many other color terms compete with it. Next is talk about relativism and universalism. Number 1, color terms. The study is finding were initially considered evidence against the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, but this is the argument that the universe constraints and color vocabulary are rooted in the nature of human color perception. Number 2 is other semantic domain. However, this cannot be generalized to most other semantic domains such as animal concept, which is the are based on both sense data and cultural aspect. And then number 3 is revitalism. Relativism is necessary for understanding other language as it allows us to recognize, appreciate the difference between languages. And then number 4 is a universalist approach. Once we are aware of the difference, we can attempt to define the common denominator that makes comparison possible. So next is last conclusion. The study of language and culture has a relevant several key points that highlight the complexity and nuances of a human communication. The study has shown that a language is deeply rooted in culture and reflects the value, belief, and practice of society. It is also highlight the ongoing debate between universalism and relativism and the importance of considering both perspectives in understanding human communication. Ultimately, the study of language and culture is essential for understanding the complexity of a human communication and for fostering greater understanding and cooperation between different cultures. Okay, next. Thank you for attention. See you there.